Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. Welcome to the live stream. And this week is going to be a very important week in the markets because we finally broke below the 200 SMA. So I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from, and then we'll get started shortly here. Okay, USA, Massachusetts. How is Massachusetts? Are you in Boston? How's the weather there? Nice city in Boston. Okay. So let me know where you guys are tuning in from, and then we'll get started shortly here. If you're joining us for the first time, put one in the chat so that we know that you're joining us for the first time, and let me know where you're tuning in from. We'll get started shortly here. So we have a the futures market is sort of okay. So the futures market is red at the moment. So far that means that if it stays red until the market opens tomorrow, then we are going to open the pre-market with a gap down, right? But so far, it's not bad. It's not bad. Like it's just like the ES is down by 20 points, and then the NQ, down by. Let me check here. The NQ is down by. Let's see here. The NQ is down by 99, 117 points. So I mean, not bad, not bad. So yeah, so as it stands, we are going to get a gap down, and we shall see how things transpire here as the market opens tomorrow. So it's going to be an interesting one. We shall see how the market reacts tomorrow. But for now, we are red in the market. Alrighty. So let me know where you guys are tuning in from. There are about 5 people here. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from, which city, which country you're tuning in from, so that we can say hi to you. Yeah, we will get started here shortly. Just share my screen. So before we get started with the economic calendar and what's going on for this week, we have to recap what happened last week. So last week, what we had was we had so last week we had a PPI that was hotter than expected, and it caused the market to sell. And then also we had the war situation is still ongoing and it hasn't stopped. And on the weekend, President Trump threatened to attack the energy sites of Iran, and if that happens, it's going to cause complete blackout in Iran. And Iran responded back by saying that okay, if they do so, what they are going to do is that they are going to target their neighbors in the Middle East, right? Like countries like Saudi Arabia and UAE, all those places, they were going to attack their energy facility as well. So it's like a tit for tat. So President Trump has given them 48 hours, and they have also given the US 48 hours. So there's a lot of back and forth going on. So it doesn't look like this war is coming to an end anytime soon. It looks like both parties are really serious about what they have to do here, and we shall see how that plays out. I mean, at this rate, I would not be surprised if we see oil trading at $150 per barrel, right? Anything is possible. So we shall see how this plays out. Hopefully, cooler heads will prevail, and this whole thing will become the peace will prevail. Okay. All right. So right now, what I'm checking out here is I'm looking at the the economic calendar here. So Monday we have construction spending. So this is this like this delayed oops this construction spending. So we have delayed report from construction, and that one it's not something that is going to move the market that much. It's not really a big deal right now. The market is mainly concerned about oil and the Iran war, right? So any news that is positive from that front is going to cause the market to rally, but any negative news is going to cause the market to sell off. So any other thing is like a sideshow, right? Any other thing is not like a big deal of a thing, right? So here we have US productivity. We have yeah, so these ones are not going to be much of a big deal. I believe that the main thing for this week is going to be the initial jobless claims, right? So the forecast is 210,000. If it comes in higher than that, it's going to cause the market to sell, right? Yeah, that means that the unemployment numbers are increasing, and that is getting into recession numbers, right? And then we're also going to have this, which is going to be at 10 a.m. on Friday, which is consumer sentiment. Consumer sentiment always moves the market for those that day trade, right? But other than that, the main thing for this week is going to be the Thursday initial jobless claims. Okay. All right. So coming into the market today, I just want to check out here. Let's check the futures market to see what's going on here in the futures market now. Let's check the ES. So the ES is down. As you can see here, the ES is down. It's showing, looking like it wants to go green. It's red so far, as I can see. It's red. So this is still below the 200 SMA, which is a big deal, right? So the futures, the bulls need to find a way to remount this 200, or else we are heading down to this area somewhere here around was it 640 or something, right? That area. And then let's look at where the NQ is trading. The NQ is also down. Okay, NQ is also down. So the NQ is also down. So all of them it looks like there's a green here. We shall see how that plays out as the market opens tomorrow. Okay, so now let's go to the SPY. I'll show you guys what's happening in the SPY. So this is the SPY chart. For several months, I've been saying that the market was due for a sell-off, and those that have been following my work here, this channel, you guys know that I've been talking about this for the longest time, right? So finally we got that. So this is what I was talking about here. So if you go to the weekly time frame, so this is the this is the bigger picture. This is the macro chart. This shows you, this is a parallel channel that shows you what has happened over the last 6 years. So here we have COVID low, then we have 2022 lows. We have this. So like this is what it is. This is how it looks like. Let me pull this here. Let me see if I can get this to work. Okay, let's try this. Perfect. So this is what we have here, right? So we have COVID low, 2022 lows, 2023 lows, Liberation Day lows, that's last year due to the tariffs. If you extend it, the parallel channel, if you extend it, what you see here is that it brings you to 2021 highs, and then it brings you to the highs of 2026, right? So until we break above these highs of this parallel channel, the top of it, I don't think that I'm going to be bullish if we break the top of this. Other than that, we are heading down, right? We are heading down in the market, right? So here, we have what is called a rounding top, right? A rounding top is a distribution effect. When you have market tops, you have rounding tops. So this rounding top here, as you can see, every single time price pops up, like if you get a green move, it sells. Green move sells. Green move sells, right? So that forms like this rounding top. And then now look at where we are at. We are currently at we traded below the 200. We are trading below it right now. So we shall see how price behaves here, right? But I think that we are going to get some kind of a bounce, which can retest the 200. And then from there, we shall see where price takes us to. Okay. So, like coming into this week, what I'm looking at is that I'm looking for a quick bounce, right? A quick bounce that takes us. So, this is the line that I have here, this trend line here, this down sloping trend line. So, above this trend line, we are going to lean long. Below that trend line, we are going to lean short, right? So, it's an easy, straightforward game plan for this week, right? If we trade above this orange downsloping trend line, then we are going to make a move like this, which is going to bring you to the is going to bring you to this yellow line where we have the 200 SMA, and at the 200 SMA, there's going to be another fight, and then I believe that the bears are going to win that one, and they are going to push this down, right? It's going to come down, right? So here, my ultimate target for this sell is going to be here. See where this line is, 612. That's where I believe this is going to come to, right? But I believe that we are due for some kind of a bounce, some kind of dead cat bounce that is going to push this up, and then we go down, right? Because every single time we've come close to this area, we've seen the spy bounce there and recover, right? So we'll see how this plays out, but I'll not be surprised if we also go down further. But I believe that this is going to give us some kind of a bounce that takes you to the yellow line where the 200 is, and that's going to act as a resistance, and then price is going to go down from there. So that's the game plan that I have here going into this week. Going into this week, I believe that. So now we are futures market is from what I see here, futures market is showing us is red, just a few points down. But what's going to happen is that I believe that tomorrow, when all is said and done, we are going to be green. We are going to be green on the day, right? And then we are going to move towards this yellow line. And then there is where the battle is going to be won and lost, right? So the bulls are going to fight there. The bears are going to defend that level. And then whoever wins will determine where the price goes to from here. But if the bulls are able to close the day above the yellow line, the 200 SMA, that will be a big achievement for them. And then next time they will try to push it to the 100 SMA, right? So that's the game plan. Then I will look at VIX as well, volatility index. So a volatility index has been, been like really goes up and down, as required. So here, what we see here is that the volatility index, in order for SPY to go up, volatility index needs to go down, right? We need to get this to go down, right? But we shall see how that plays out. It all depends on what happens with oil. So here we have this trend line here for the VIX. So are we going to see the VIX rally to this place? We shall see how that works out. But if we can get the VIX to trade above, if we get VIX to go to like 30, 35 area, then it's going to put more pressure on the market and we are going to sell down lower, right? We are going to break that trend line on SPY. However, if VIX goes down, then it means that the SPY is going to push up to the 200 SMA and higher. Okay. So let's check out the QQQ. So with the QQQ also has QQQ also has a similar pattern here. Let me check out QQQ. So here is the QQQ. So QQQ also has similar trend line here. So if you look at it, if you connect it here, look at the trend line. So from here to here, this is where we see the trend line for QQQ. Okay. So it's simple as that. So if this trend line holds, right? Above this trend line, we are going to lean long. Below this trend line, we are going to lean short. Simple as that, right? And if we break below this trend line, then we are going to be heading, next target is going to be here. But before then, there's a little gap fill here that needs to be filled. Tiny gap over here that needs to be filled. Over here with QQQ. And so that's QQQ here. So that's the levels. And then we come here. Then I believe that. So my ultimate target for a sell-off is going to be here. That's going to give us the more than, so that's going to give us how many percent? That's going to give us 15% correction, right? 15% correction in the market. This is the area where I expect it to come to. But for now, because of this, because of what happened in the past, I believe that this is going to bounce here, right? It's going to bounce this way. On Friday, I was expecting it to continue, but President Trump came out saying something like they are going to release um like the sanctions that they had on Iranian oil. They are going to lift those sanctions so that those oil can come into the system and increase supply of oil. So when there's more supply, demand goes down and oil prices will come down, right? But I don't think that that is really making a big difference right now. We shall see how it plays out in the coming week here. So this down sloping trend line is going to be critical here this week. If we hold above it, then bingo, we are going up, and the target is going to be, the battle is going to be here, the 200, right? The bulls need to find, the bears need to find a way to keep the bulls at bay here at the 200, and the bulls want to make sure that they trade above the 200, right? So where all is said and done, at the end of the day, if we trade above this 200, then it's a good sign for the bulls, but they will still come in here and end up in this jam again, this bear flag jam. So we got a break in the bear flag finally on Friday, but the bulls were able to fight back due to the news by President Trump and stuff. So we'll see how this goes up, how what happens here this week. But this is a critical level where I expect price to bounce and recover. Okay. So we'll see how things work out in this coming week here. All right. So two charts that I'm watching so far. Two charts that I'm going to be watching this week here is, I mean, it's surprising to see the DIA go into a correction before the Nasdaq and the SPY. Like I'm actually shocked, right? But it is what it is, kind of thing, right? So if you look at here, so what is a correction? A correction, the definition of a correction is 10% or more sell-off from recent highs, or in this case, all-time highs, right? If you look at it here, we have this from here to here is what is, it came all the way down to 10%. I mean, it closed at 9%. So approximately it hits correction zone, right? And if you look at here, let me take off the lines. This came to the previous all-time highs, right? So that's an area where I'm checking for SPY and QQQ to get there, right? But the DIA already got there. So this week I like DIA trade, like DIA as a day trade or swing trade, or I'll trade it using the futures. I like this setup here because it is at a key support level, and that's an area where it must bounce, right? If you look at previous action, like last year, when they got the Liberation Day sell-off, where did it bounce? It bounced here at the previous highs, previous all-time highs, 2021 highs, right? That's where it bounced. So I expect this to do the same thing here, and we are going to get a bounce here. So I like DIA for a long this week here, whereby we trade above the 200, and then we can push up from there. So the battle is going to be the 200 battle, but this even closed green, which is a good sign, right? The SPY and QQQ closed red, but DIA closed green, right? So even in the futures market, we are seeing that the DIA is showing strength. Like if you go to the YM, let's show you YM. YM is strong. Let's show you here. Let me show you guys here. YM. YM is strong compared to The other one's YM. This YM here. Look at that. See how the candle is healthier than SPY and the ES and stuff. So this YM here is showing solid candle. So I believe that this is going to push up, and by the end of day on Monday, I'll not be surprised if we see a green candle that closes above the highs of this red candle tomorrow. So I like this for a day trade or even a swing trade, depending on which one sets up tomorrow. Okay. So here, above this level here, above this 460 here, going to take longs, going to take like options trade, like you can take like the 465 or 460 calls expiring on Friday. You can hold it, and I believe that you're going to get that pop to the upside. So you're going to get a candle like this, like a candle like this, a green candle, which is going to close somewhere here. Okay, got a green candle that closes somewhere here. So that is a possibility, right? And then which closes or close to the 9 EMA, and then the following day we get a continuation, right? Get a continuation, barring any crazy news from the wall, right? We get something like this, and then we can continue, right? Something like that. So that's why I see here. I like this setup because it's at a critical level, and I believe that is going to give us that bounce, and we are going to push up. Okay. All right. So next one that I'm looking at is IWM. So IWM and DIA tend to move alike. They move together. For IWM, what I'm seeing here is that IWM is giving us this falling wedge pattern, and this falling wedge pattern is holding the if you go, let me go to a different chart here. We can see that the IWM is holding the 200. So if you look at the pattern recognition on IWM, every single time it has come to the 200, bounce, 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 right? Bounce here as well. And this is where we are at right now, is at the 200. I believe we are going to get a bounce as well. And then we are going to break above this falling wedge pattern tomorrow. So IWM is a good one for a long coming into the market here, as long as if we can trade above this 250, above 250, this is going to be off to the races. This is going to take off, right? So here I expect to see a candle like this by tomorrow, end of day tomorrow. If the market is strong, we are going to get a candle like this. That's going to open up and then do this, right? Oh, get a candle like this, right? Get a green candle. Not as big as this, but something of that sort, right? So we get a green candle like this. So that's what I'm looking for IWM. So IWM and DIA are two tickets that I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be day trading them tomorrow with a day trading group. Okay. All right. So now that we know this, let's check out like oil, right? Let's check out oil futures. Let's check out oil futures, because that's what is controlling this market right now. So oil futures, crude oil. Let's check out. They have the May expiry. Okay, I thought it's monthly. Okay, so crude oil. I've been saying that crude oil is due for a reversal, like a sell, right? Crude oil is due for a sell. So here, if you look at this, we can see that this candle here is the dominant candle. Okay. As long as this does not come up here and trade above this is bearish, right? This setup here is bearish. Okay. So here we just have this growing like this. So we have this. Let me show you here. This stuff here from here to here. So this is what we have so far for this. This is a rising channel, right? So here, as long as this is within this channel here and hasn't broken above here, this is bearish. So it's going to do this, and up to some point where we are going to get like a big a big sell off, right? You're going to get a candle that breaks here, that candle that breaks here, and then we're going to come down like this, right? You're going to get a big candle sell off. So that's what looking to see here on oil. And then once that happens, that's going to cause the stock market to rally. And we are going to get that sell off to the downside for the oil. So oil, unless we get a big move, I think oil is due for a pullback, right? Oil is due for a pullback, right? So how am I going to play that? I'm going to play that using USO. USO, I'm going to use USO to trade that. So if you look at USO here, let me go to the other chart with other indicators here. Show you where USO is. So USO. So this USO here. And if you go to the weekly time frame, you can see that these two lines are intersecting here. And the place that they are intersecting is a place where it's like I call it a bow tie trend line. So this hasn't crossed yet. So in order for this to break out, we need a green candle that is trading above 124 to go. But otherwise, this is due for a pullback, right? So I'll not be shocked if I see this go to 108 this week. Assuming we hear some good news from the war, I think that this is going to come somewhere here and then fill this gap. So there's some kind of a gap fill here that needs to be filled. I will target that gap fill. So here I will be looking to get something like a 114 puts or 118 puts, whereby we target this gap fill, and then anything from there, anything else is going to be a cherry on the cake, right? Or we can see this push to 130, right? So this 130 level is a critical level here because the last time price came here, you saw the sell off. So it's probably going to come here again, then put in like a double top and then sell, right? So USO, I'm going to be watching USO as my oil play, right? So oil options play. If the the oil market is showing weakness, we are going to short it. If it's showing bullishness and it breaks above this bow tie trend line, then obviously we are going to look to go long and see if it can take us above this 130, right? But I think 130 is going to be a critical level where this is going to stall out and sell. Okay. So all right. So with that in mind, I'll go through a few things. Let me go through like Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is see what Bitcoin is doing here. So Bitcoin is still trading below the 50 EMA here, SMA here or EMA is trading below it, and again because the general market is weak. But if the general market finds its footing and tries to recover, I believe that this here can do something great. So here we have the cap, and then we have just a pullback. So maybe we can have another handle, cap and handle, and then with a cap and handle, we can get that breakout, something like that, right? Something of that sort. So we shall see how that works out here with Bitcoin. But Bitcoin is it's still struggling, still consolidating here, but it needs to find a way to break above this red line, right? If we can break above this red line, then we can move to that 80K target. But for now, it's pulling back with the general market. So this the target of Bitcoin that I'm looking at 80,000. Then after 80,000, we are going to go to the other one, which is the what here? No, no, 98,000. No, somewhere here. Um, the bottom of this somewhere here 85K, right? 85,000. So between 80,000 and 85,000 is the area where I expect this to go, and we shall see how that plays out. But again, this depends on the general market, the Nasdaq, right? If the Nasdaq is strong, typically Bitcoin will also be strong, and Bitcoin has sold off a lot and is due for some kind of a bounce, some kind of a reversal to this 85K mark, right? But for now, we see this pushing back, and we shall see how price respects this trend line. So I'm seeing a trend line here, this one. So here, this is a trend line that price has been respecting. So if price comes here, probably is going to come here, bounce, and then take off, try to go right. So that's what I'm going to be watching. And let me draw a parallel channel to that effect. So here, from here to here, and then we do this like this. Okay. So that's what I'm looking at here for Bitcoin. Let's see if it can hold and then go up. Yeah. And we'll see from there. So it all is going to be dependent on what the market does, the general market does. And if the stock market is strong, typically Bitcoin will also get some kind of strength. But overall, Bitcoin has been showing relative strength compared to the market. So we'll see if it continues that this week here. So gold is selling off, right? So with gold, the problem with gold is that the US dollar DXY has been strong. Okay, DXY, the US dollar has been strong. Look at it; it's been going up. It's been strong here. So if the DXY is up, then usually gold is going to be down. Okay, so here gold is coming to a level that I really like. That's a level where I'm going to be looking to open a position. So here, if you look at it, this area here. So here, this is a critical level, right? Critical level here. Sorry, this place. Yeah, this is a critical level. So this is the high of this rally here in October. This area. This is the low of when it sold off where it bounced. So I believe that gold is due for a bounce, right? We are going to get that bounce here maybe this week. So if it comes into this level and it holds, I'm going to look to open a long position on gold, whereby I'm going to look to ride it to the upside, right? However, if for any reason this level breaks, this support breaks, then we are going to head down, right? Break of that support means that we are going to head down, which is not going to be fun for gold investors, right? Right. So if you go below here, we are not going to we are going to get that break and we are going to go down. So we shall see how it goes, but it can still go down. And if it goes down, the next area is going to be where this area here. Next support is somewhere here, right? Somewhere here, or the 200. But I believe that there's going to be a bounce here. A bounce is coming, right? So gold is weak, it's selling off, but I believe that is going to get that kind of a bounce here. So people are asking that why is it that we thought that when there's uncertainty in the markets and there's war and stuff, gold and things are going to do well. Yeah, but the reason why gold is not doing well this time is that because there's a lot of gold used to be a safe haven where it didn't used to move that much. So when there's war and things, people gravitate towards gold. But that parabolic move in gold in January here that happened has made gold look like a very volatile asset, right? So right now, gold is already high and we are not going to get that kind of safe haven behavior from it right now until it pulls back, right? So this pullback is you see here is breaking below this already. So it looks like it wants to head down here. So we shall see how this plays out, but it still has some minor support here. So anywhere between here, I expect gold to hold, and then we're going to get that bounce. Okay, let's check out silver. Silver, let's see what silver is doing. Silver too is in the same predicament. So last week I drew this line here saying that if we hold here, we are going to go up. If we don't hold this, we are going to go down. So far it looks like the down one worked out. And now we are here going to this point. So here, this is going to be a double bottom if this holds, and we are going to get that move to the upside. So that's what I'm going to be watching here for silver to see that if it holds this area. If it doesn't, then next area of support is going to be here. This is where the breakout happened here in November. We are going to come to that area. So it's basically retracing to the scene of the crime, right? So let me take out all these lines. You're going to see it properly here. So here, where did we get the breakout? The breakout in silver happened when, and I call this breakout here in the community, everybody, in November 27th, to be precise. I posted the game plan before the breakout, this big breakout, parabolic move in silver here. So here, next target is it needs to hold this area. If it fails to hold here, it doesn't have a choice. It's going to come all the way here. So this is an area where I will look to buy, right? So from here and here, all this area where I'll look to buy. But for now, this is going to head down to this area here until it finds support, right? But this area here is the ultimate target where this is, because this is going to be a retracing to the scene of the crime where the breakout happened for silver. All right. Okay. So now let's look at some individual stocks here that I have. One of them is Meta Platforms. Not traded Meta Platforms in a while. But Meta Platforms has been selling like it's been selling like crazy. So here, first off, a couple of weeks ago, I talked about this head and shoulders pattern for Meta. So that head and shoulders pattern has, more or less, we have that move, and we are here now, right? So this place is like a critical support here. So price here, this is like support, 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 and I can't even use arrows. Support, right? You can use arrows here to make it work. Support, you know, support level. So this has to hold, right? So if this holds, we are going to get a reversal here, and we have the 100 SMA here as well. So I believe that Meta is due for a bounce. I mean, it's been selling off a lot. It's due for a bounce. So we are going to get that bounce that brings this to somewhere here. You get a candle. You get a green candle here. Let's see if I can draw this. So you get a green candle here that comes somewhere here. Gets to this area, bump his head into this, and then sees what happens, right? If he holds, then he's going to gap up above this, and then it's going to take off, right? If he holds, it's going to gap up above this and it's going to take off. However, if the market is weak, if the market continues its weakness, then what's going to happen is that here you have a head and shoulders. So the measured move for a head and shoulders pattern where this is the neckline or the shoulders is going to be here. You see here? This has ability to come all the way here. Meta can come all the way here using the measured move, and that's going to coincide with here. See this here, this level. That's going to coincide with this level. So here is the neckline. This is the place. This is just so perfect. So here, this area here is the neckline, and this is the measured move. So measured move, where did I get that from? I got that from here to here. So based on technical analysis, if this breaks, if 586 breaks, the measured move is going to be here. It's going to bring us to previous all-time highs. Previous all-time highs, that is 2021 all-time highs. Oh, wow. That's going to be crazy. So that's going to mean that this would have sold off. So right now, Meta has sold off. Meta is in a bear market. And if it comes all the way here, it's going to be 50-something%, right? So Meta is a top-notch company, and it's a company that is very profitable. So I believe that if the SPY and QQQ go into a correction, then this definitely is going to come here, right? This is definitely going to come here. So we are going to watch this closely. So going into the week, I'm going to be watching Meta to see what it does. If it holds here, we're going to long it, going to go long. But if it comes here, breaks below 586, we are going to look to short it, and then we are going to be targeting. So next logical target is going to be here, 482. But before then, there are other tiny levels that it needs to come to somewhere here. All right. So that's how I see Meta. So Meta, if the general market is showing strength, Meta is going to bounce. If not, it's going to sell, right? But Meta is due for a bounce. It broke this major 2022 trend line, which is a very important trend line. So typically, when you break a major support trend line like that, stocks or whatever asset you are trading tends to come back and retest it, which is normal, right? So tomorrow I expect that retest, and then if it cannot go, if they don't have any momentum, it's going to bump its head into it, and then it's going to sell, right? If there's more momentum, it's going to remount and push up. Okay, so that's why I'm watching. So Meta, number one, and here's another stock that we traded last week in the swing trading and day trading service, Circle. So if Bitcoin and crypto is to wake up, like, and does well this week, then obviously Circle is going to do well. So amongst the crypto tickers, Circle is the strongest, right? Circle is the strongest. So last week in the swing trading service, we were able to capture a swing trade on this, which gave us 200% return on the Circle trade. The week before, too, we traded Circle. So Circle has been really good to us in the day trading service, swing trading service. We also day traded this as well. But if it depends on what Bitcoin is going to do this week, if Bitcoin is strong, then Circle will benefit from it, right? So Circle will benefit from it. So over here, I see this trend line here on Circle. If Circle can break above this trend line here and this level, right? Circle will squeeze and go up, and it's going to go to this level. It's going to come here to 147, right? 147 is the next milestone for Circle. 147, next milestone. Then this area, this one can come here first. This one here. So I see Circle pushing up. If it's able to crack this level here, 137, above 137 is going to push up, and we can come to 147. So, and that is also going to depend on how crypto behaves, right? If Bitcoin is strong, then it benefits stablecoin companies like Circle, and that causes them to rally. So we're going to be watching this closely, and this here can be like more or less like a bull flag happening, and then we can get them move to the upside. So I'm looking for a candle like this on Circle. Candle like this on Circle here this week. So you get something like this, a green candle. Then you know that this is off to the races, right? Circle. So Circle is one of my main watch for this week. We are going to for day trade and swing trade. Also, let's look at another one. So Microsoft has been a little bit, is it's been bouncing, selling, but I believe that at this point in time is in last chance salon, right? It has to hold this 200 SMA area, right? So it's like here. So I believe that is going to hold it. But if it breaks it, then we are going to come all the way to 346, right? So I expect Microsoft to do something to hold this yellow line. So above this yellow line, going to look for longs, but below this yellow line, we're going to look for shorts, right? Short to the downside, right? So that is what we are going to look at here for Microsoft. Okay. So Microsoft is going to go up together with the general market, but the main deal is that it needs to hold this yellow line. Above this yellow line is going to be a move to the upside. Below it is going to come here to 346 area. So I'm going to be watching Microsoft either for a long or a short, right? But more likely a long because of what I've seen here, because of this pattern recognition bounce, bounce, bounce. So yeah, I expect this to bounce here. Okay. All right. So that's Microsoft. Another stock that I'm going to watch is another stock that I'm watching is that I'm looking at this one here. I'm looking at Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs, right? Goldman Sachs is a financial company, like banks, right? The big banks in America, right? So Goldman Sachs, like what I see here is that Goldman Sachs is sold off. That's a weekly time frame and go to the daily. So Goldman Sachs sold off and came to the 200, right? It's holding the 200 nicely. So I believe that is going to look to push up here above the 200, right? So above this 828 level, we are going to get this to push, and it's going to push up to this area. It going to push up to this area, which is going to be eight something, 869, right? 869 is what it's going to push up to. Okay. So Goldman Sachs, here we have this so this area here is where if you take this trade, like if you go for a swing, you want to make sure that this does not break below the 200 SMA. And if we go above here, we're going to look for a long, and then target this 20 SMA, and then target this 100 SMA here, right? So that's what I'm looking at for Goldman Sachs, and it's coiling up. So if Goldman Sachs is up, then the XLF ETF is also going to go up, right? So here XLF ETF is the financials ETF, right? If you look at it, this try to sell here. So if we break below this 49, it's going to sell, right? So the private credit situation, if that gets worse, then this is going to sell. If it cools off, then this is going to hold this 49 level and push up, right? So here, this level, this trend line, if XLF holds this trend line, then it's going to push up. Going to push up to this area. Okay. Going to push up to this area. So that's something I'm going to be watching this week closely. To see. I have a short here, but it looks like this is trying to reverse. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm going to be watching this level here, this 20 SMA level. If it gets here, then it's going to push up or it's going to push down, right? Here it could act as resistance and it can go down. But this is a critical level. This trend line, and most importantly, this bottom here. Okay. All right. So yeah, so there's a lot of unknowns here to this market, but we have to. It depends on what the market does tomorrow. I believe that the market is due for a bounce based on what I'm seeing so far. I think the market is due for a bounce, so I'm not going to be shocked to see a big green day here in the market, and that's going to cause all these stocks to go up tomorrow, right? So it depends on the futures market. I think that is going to go green. I think by now it should be green. Let me check. Let me check and see where the futures market is here. Yeah, futures market is still red, but I believe that by tomorrow, by the time the market closes, we'll be back green again, right? We'll be back green. So that's what I'm looking at. But if it's red as well, no problem. Well, yeah. So I have a shot. I have a shot on SPY, full disclosure. So I'll see how that works out. If my stop loss hits, I'll get out of the trade and flip long. But if it doesn't hit my stop loss and it continues selling, we're going to hold the trade, right? So I believe that when oil is selling down by April, by April, we'll definitely see the market here. We are going to see SPY here by April, sometime in April. I'm not sure when, right? But by the end of the month of April, we are going to be here. This is going to hit this 620, 612, right? So my ultimate target is 612. I have a short here that I'm targeting this 612 level. I have time on it. It's expiring end of April. So that's what I'm looking at. I know that this is going to have like some kind of reaction. It's going to bounce and come here. So if my stop loss is above here, if price breaks above it, then fine. I'll look to get out of the trade. But if it fails, I'll add to my position and then we go down, right? So if you take a short position, you have to know that it doesn't go, stocks and ETFs don't move in a straight line. It's going to be staircase pattern, right? So as going up, we add to the position at critical points and then you ride it down to the downside. Okay. So next one that I'm looking at is that if the IWM does well, the way I'm looking for it to do, like to recover and close green, then I expect some small cap stocks to do well. One small cap that I'm watching is Ondas, right? Ondas is so here you have this triangle wedge pattern, right? So let's say it continues in this triangle here, and then boom, it takes off, right? So it's two things: either going to explode to the upside or downside, right? But if the IWM is strong, then I expect this to break out. I expect on that to break out. I expect it to break out like this. Get like a green candle that goes like this, and then hits this area, tries to fight, and then we'll see what happens. Maybe the next day it goes up from here, right? So that's what I'm going to be watching here with this stock, right? On das. I'm going to be watching on das closely. Also, another small cap stock that I like is ASTS. So ASTS is also similar pattern as on das here. It's holding this 100 SMA area, and so far it's doing okay. Just that the market hasn't been helpful to it. But I believe that this here is ready. This stock is ready to take off, but it depends on what the general market does. So if this stock is showing relative strength compared to the index, which is the IWM, right? So if this holds, right, if this can hold here and break above this downsloping trend line, or better still break above this 50 SMA, we are going to get a squeeze here on this stock. And this stock, once it moves really aggressively, right? It moves really aggressively. It can come to 107 in no time. And by the time you see, it's back at all-time highs, right? So ASTS is a stock that I'm going to be watching closely to see if we can get that break here this week. And that break is going to coincide with strength in the IWM, right? If IWM is strong, then most likely this stock is going to benefit from that. And this stock is actually stronger than the IWM. IWM is trading at the 200. This is trading at the 100. So, and close to the 50. So this is stronger than IWM. So during times of correction and stuff like that, as a trader, you want to check on, you have to look for stocks that are showing relative strength, right? Meaning that stocks that are showing a little bit of strength compared to the index that they are listed in. So those stocks, once the index starts pushing up, those stocks are going to push up aggressively. Okay. So that is what I'm looking at here. So ASTS is also another one that I like here in the small cap space, which I think will do really well and is going to push up if we get a strong market coming up here. Okay, last but not the least here is Coinbase. So Coinbase is consolidating here, waiting for a big move, right? But it's all going to depend on Bitcoin. So here, but there's also a gap fill, right? So my thing is that come down, fill the gap, and let's move on, kind of thing, right? So here we have the gap fill on coin. So there's a gap fill here. So coin can come here and fill this gap at some point. If the market is weak, coin will come here, fill the gap. There's also these levels here. So come here, fill this gap. Come here, fill this gap like this. And then after filling this gap, what happens is that it can now maybe try to reverse, put in like a green wiping out red. Green wiping out red. And then we go from there. Green wiping out red, something like this. Oh, why am I not getting this to work? Okay, so I mean you get a point. Green wiping out red, and then we'll go from there. So we get this green. So we get a green candle, something like this. So we come back for this gap and then go up. So that's something that might happen, but again, it depends on crypto, how Bitcoin behaves, and how the whole crypto market, if Bitcoin is strong, right? Bitcoin is strong, there's going to benefit all these stocks, right? I also like Irene, but Irene is I was hoping for Irene to do what is last week, but Irene couldn't get a job done. So here we have this here. I believe that Irene might hold. So here, Irene is putting in what looks like an investor and shoulders pattern. So if Irene can clear this area, see this area here. If Irene can clear this area, this trend line here, I believe that Irene is going to take off, right? I believe that Irene is going to take off and go. Okay. So Irene is also a stock that I'm going to be watching. Again, this is also crypto related, AI and crypto related. So if this is strong, then it's going to push is going to push all this stuff, and then it's going to get this to to push up and go up, right? So I like Irene as a company. Irene is good. It's a solid company. And I believe that if Bitcoin and the market gets strong, this is going to take off, right? Yeah. Also, there's these stocks that have been doing well. Last week we traded MU in an earnings reversal trade. It was a beautiful trade where we were able to capture the move, right? So it's interesting because before the earnings, I was saying that I don't think MU was going to cross here, cross this trend line, right? And exactly, it did not break above this trend line, right? So and so far it has put in this top here, and it's going down, right? It's going down so far. So it put in what, something looking like a double top, and it's going down. So we see how what happens to MU. But MU is one of those stocks that have shown relative strength even when the market has been selling off. So MU is in the memory chip space, and all those memory chip companies, SanDisk, and all those ones have been really, really strong. And I believe that if the market regains strength, these stocks are going to go up and do well. So MU is a stock that I'm going to be watching, but from the look of things here, I expect it to come back here to the 50, like with the futures red. I expect this to open red. So come here to the 50, retest it again. Because if you look at this, every single time, if you look at the pattern recognition, right? Look at the red line. So every single time this has come to a red line, bounce, 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 even here, bounce, right? So I expect something the same to happen here. Come here and bounce, and then we go up again. So MU is something that you can watch. I mean, it has been a stock that has shown strength even in the midst of the market sell-off and the war. Okay. So a pullback into a sell into the 400 zone, hold this red line, right? It could pierce it like it did here. It doesn't really matter. It pierces it, but if it remounts it, you can go long, get a $400 calls and ride it to the upside, right? To then, if the market is strong at that time, then definitely it's going to clear this trend line here, right? So I sold options on this, collected $1,000 premium from that before the earnings, and then I also traded this in the day trading room, made $2,000 from that in the earnings reversal. So last week, MU alone netted $3,000, right? So if you want to day trade with us live, you can always sign up for our day trading service. So here's our day trading service. Let me show you. Day trading service here. Go to our website, tradingrich.com, click on courses, click on live day trading, and you can join us. So last week, our swing trading service, our swing trade of the day was Circle. It produced 200% return. Here, this one, we day traded MU and a whole host of other stocks. So MU trade presented 200% return on that trade, and I also did like a option selling on that before the earnings, collected the premium because I used this trend line here as a benchmark. So I sold the options. I sold the what was it? I sold the I think it was 475 calls. right? And yeah, saying that this is not going to cross 475, and exactly, it did not cross 475, and it sold off, right? So yeah, so if you want to join the day trading service, this is the link here. We trade both options and futures. So yeah, I'm going to put it here in the chat. If you have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat, right? Also, we have the bootcamp coming up on April 25th, like option selling. So if you want to sell options and use that to pay your living expenses and everything, then you can sign up for our upcoming bootcamp. So here you go here, go to the courses, and then here this is the cash flow bootcamp. So it's a 6 weeks interactive bootcamp that we are going to be offering where individuals are going to learn about how to sell options, right? How to sell options consistently and pull money from the market. So I did a lot of option selling last week and posted the results in our WhatsApp group in the community for members to see. Yeah. So next thing I'm going to look at here is that I'm going to look at another stock here, which is also in the memory chip space, SanDisk, right? So SanDisk is the other one that is always going up, right? So with SanDisk, what I've seen is that I had this trend line here that's respected this trend line. So this from IPO trend line. One hit, two hit, three, four, boom. It came down, right? So here, for SanDisk to break out, it needs to crack above this trend line here and take off, right? So if SanDisk shows weakness, it's going to come here and fill this gap. But in terms of a swing trade on SanDisk, I want it to come back here into the 50 EMA. If you look at it, this has always liked to hold this 50 EMA where the red line is hold, 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 boom, that kind of thing, right? So that's where it's been holding so far, and I believe that is. I mean, if it pulls back into that area again, I'm going to look to. I'm going to be a buyer, and I'm going to ride it up to the upside. So that's how swing trading is. Swing trading is all about pattern recognition. Okay, you recognize a pattern and then you do it. So this one of them that I've been selling options on, right? And the options are really lucrative. Like this one's like I've already with this WDC, I've sold 2 options on it already. So far, I've collected $4,000 from this here in the last 3 weeks, right? $4,000, and I still have one, and this could not like crack it. So here, I'm going to open it. It's going to expire worthless, meaning that the option that whoever I sold it to did not make money. I collected their money and rinse and repeat, right? So if this comes all the way back down here, so how did I trade this? So here, the initial one was here. Price came here, and I felt that okay, this stuff is not going to break this upsloping trend line here, right? And I saw something like a head and shoulders pattern. And I said, okay, well, this stuff is going to go down. And the market itself was weak, so it's going to go down. So this came all the way down here. So I opened a what's it called? I opened I sold a call on this, and this came all the way down here. So that call became worthless. Took the money from whoever I sold it to, and then once he came here, I bought. I bought more, and then what I did was ride it to the upside, right? Targeting this place like 310. So far, like when was it? Like Friday, the contract that I sold closed did not close above 310, so it expired worthless. Rinse and repeat. I'm going to open another one again this week to see where that one goes. But this has been a very good trade so far. And I could have traded it in different angles, right? I could have bought the swing trade on this, ride the swing trade up, and also sell option on it. So this is something that I'm going to be teaching in great detail in the bootcamp. Also, on Thursday, I sold some credit spreads on QQQ. I also posted the results in the WhatsApp group there, and everybody saw it, right? So that's something that I'm also going to talk about in the bootcamp. So this bootcamp is going to be very, very interactive. So we are going to have 2 weeks of going through all the concepts, right? Everything you need to know about options in order to use that to make cash flow and passive income, right? And we're also going to incorporate the use of AI in this strategy here. So we are going to use AI, how to use AI to help you in your trading, right? How to analyze the stock, how to analyze an option trade, everything. I'm going to give you all the members the AI tools that I'm using for this to make sure that. So usually, once you do something like with the AI tools, what it does is that the AI tools has no feelings, right? So you program it in such a way that you tell it to give you the things that based on the system, right? So it's going to give you the right information, right? Based on what how it has been built, right? So it's not going to be feeling, oh, I feel like I want to go long, I feel like I want to go short. No, that kind of feelings is not there, right? It's just objective, right? So with the AI tool, once you do your analysis, you can compare it to your AI analysis, and then you can use that to make your decision. Okay. So here, if you want to sign up, we still have some spots left. The boot camp is going to be April 25th. So the first 2 weeks there, we are going to use that to go through the all the key concepts that you need to know. So with option selling, what it does is that option selling typically you don't lose most of the time, right? You don't lose most of the time, right? Especially if you are doing the traditional one, right? But if you do the more advanced ones, you just need to manage your risk and know what you're doing, right? You have to be trained and skilled, know what you're doing. Then that way you can be pulling money from the market on a regular basis on stocks that you want to own, right? You only do this on stocks and companies that you believe in or ETFs that you want to own, right? So yeah, so you can pull money from here, and this can replace your 9 to 5 income. This can pay your mortgage. This can pay your living expenses, right? So the more your portfolio grows, you can set it up in such a way that this can be giving you like 10 grand a month, right? 10 grand a month, and that can pay any kind of expenses that you have, right? And immediately you sell an option, the money shows up in your broker, in your account. It's like that, instantly, right? So basically, you are being paid to wait. Okay, you are being paid to wait. So here we are going to have you know, one-on-one sessions as well with every participant. I'm going to have a one-on-one session with them to map out their a plan, right? Financial plan in how they plan to use this strategy to meet their financial goals, right? And also, we are also going to do a lot of live trading session for 4 weeks. Everybody's going to take a trade. By the time you finish, you would have done a minimum of 50 trades. 50 trades. And then after that, you can go and trade your live account, right? So from day one, you start making money from day one. Once you once you start doing the stuff, you start making money from day one. You can see the strategy in action, and you're going to continue doing it. We're going to try different all the strategies that we are going to do, all the concepts that we are going to cover, both the basic and advanced one. We are going to take live trades on that, right? So at the end of the day, every participant is going to be confident that okay, I've taken this trade on my simulated account. I've seen the results. So now let me go do it in a live account, right? Same thing, right? You just repeat it and make your money. Okay. All right. So let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm done here with I'm going to put the link here for the boot camp here. So anybody that wants to sign up can take massive action now. And also, you know, if you have any questions, you can always, you know, reach out. Okay. So let me know if you guys have any questions. Put your question in the chat. Or if you want me to review any ticker that you want, any ticker, let me know before we wrap up here. So let me know what your questions are. You know, if you have any questions. Okay. So it looks like I'm not seeing any questions here. So no questions. Then that's it for tonight. Have a good night, guys. Those that are in the day trading room, we are going to trade live tomorrow. I'm excited about the setups that we have so far. I believe that is going to be the setups looks clean, and we'll look to trade them tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. Okay, so I look forward to seeing you guys and stuff. What's that? Is that what's market does? What is that? C CES? What's that? Is that a stock? CES? What's CES? What's that? Is that a Canadian stock or is that a American stock? I've never heard about it before. Canadian stock? I don't find the ticker here in my. Let me check trading view. Let me check. I don't know. I don't trade. Oh, okay, okay. I don't trade TSS. Is so let's see here. Um CES 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 TSS. Let me see stocks. Is that this one? Is this Celestia Acquisition Corp? Is that like a reverse split something? CEU. Okay. This one. Send what is that? What is that like a university stock or this? I don't even know these stocks, man. Is it this one? Is it this stock here? It's not like an energy. I don't have like I trade mainly American stocks. So yeah. So these stocks I don't know them. So if it's an American stock, I'll know them because the tickets are not showing up on my thing. Right. So if you have an American stock, like a stock in the US stock market, then fine. All the I don't trade the TSX. Okay. So if you have an American stock, I can review that for you. But I don't even know those stocks that you're talking about, man. CEU. Is that continuous education unit? Let's see here. I don't have it here on my thing. Maybe I'll check. Let me check Yahoo Finance to see. Yahoo Finance, Yahoo Finance. Yahoo Finance might bring it up. CES. I'm hearing that they are planning to increase interest rate in Canada. If that happens, I'm going to short the Canadian market because it's going to plunge it into a bear market. It's going to plunge this into a bear market for sure. CES, what CES? So here I'm checking Yahoo Finance. I'm not even finding the stuff, man. Like, look at it. Okay, yeah, this one. I've seen this one. CEU. I'll see what Yahoo Finance is giving me here. Okay. So yeah, so this is what I see here on Yahoo Finance. Oh, it's an energy stock. Okay, okay. So I mean energy stocks are going to do well because of the let me check if I can find it here. These guys. Just one sec. Okay, it's here. I can find it. Yeah, here it is, guys. Here it is. Yeah. Because you have to tell me .to Toronto Stock Exchange. Right. So here this stock here is too is it is I think it is about to pull back. It's too extended to the upside. So once I don't know much about the company. I'm sure it's an oil and gas company. Once oil start pulling back, this is going to pull back, right? But for now, it looks like it has this bull flag here. This is a bull flag. It's a bull flag. This is a flag pole. So we can get something like this where it goes above here, like this one. Look at it. It's going to do something like this. So yeah. But how far can it go? That's the question. So I'll go to the monthly time frame and I'll use my fib extension to figure out where this is. So yeah, let's look at here. This 100%. Yeah. So this stuff is due for a pullback. Stuff is due for a pullback sometime soon. Yeah. This stuff is due for a pullback. Let me just finish this out here. So the fib extension brings this to 1.61. That's more than the 100%. So here, this has reached like a critical point. So it's two things that can happen. It can blast through, or it can. So this not a time to be buying this year. You should not be buying this year, right? You should not be buying this year at this all time highs, right? So here is that I'm going to do two things. If it can either break out of this zone or it can pull back, right? But based on this pattern, it looks like it's bull flagging, right? So it can break above this, and if it breaks above it, then it's going to go to no man's land. It's going to start pushing to this area, right? But this year is too extended to the upside. I will not be buying this stock at this price. No, I'll wait for it to pull back. Right. So are you day trading it, or what are you doing to it? Are you long term investor of this? Have you been holding it for some time now, or what? So I mean, at least a pullback into this red line will be helpful. That's logical area, or maybe here like a pullback is needed. But based on this, if energy continues doing well, it can go up, right? So which price did you buy it at? Or are you looking to buy now? Are you looking to buy now, or which price did you buy it at? Have you bought it already? So yeah, so this stuff, I mean, this I see this bull flag here, so you can mark this level $19 or something. Break above $19 is going to be a breakout, and this can go to $20 and beyond, right? Maybe $20 and beyond. Okay, you'll be holding it for almost a year. Okay, so that means that you made money from it. But it depends on your price, right? Because these are all-time highs. All-time highs, right? So it means that you've been yeah. So I mean, this is a time that you have to be taking some profit off the table, right? But again, I don't give financial advice, right? So you can figure it out. But yeah, I mean, this has gone up, and I believe that once oil start going down, it's going to pull back, right? Everything that goes up in this parabolic manner is going to go down, right? So for me, if this fails to break here and it start breaking down, so it's going to come here first. So break below 17, 1781 will lead to the start of this going down. Break below 1781 will lead to the start of this going down. Right. So yeah. So if you're holding this for a year, like I mean, this has produced a lot of money. So what you need to do is that you need to take some profit off the table and put some money on the sideline. And if this don't sell everything, just hold, right? Hold some, but just know that this is due for a pullback. Right, a pullback. So this kind of moves, once it pulls back, it's going to pull back aggressively. Right, it's going to pull back up because this is too extended to the upside. See where the 200 is, and see where this very extended to the upside. Right. Yeah. So yeah, so you can protect your downside by buying some puts on this. Do these guys even have puts here on this one? I don't know. It doesn't have puts here. So yeah, so you can get, it doesn't have options. So what you can do is that you can hold it and see if we can get that breakout. But what I know for sure is that once energy, I'm sure it does oil and gas, right? Let me see, let me read about it. What does the company do? Profile, company profile. Um, design, consumable fluid, chemicals. Okay, it's not quite oil and gas and stuff, right? So it has some bio stuff in it, scavengers and stuff. Okay, well, for oil, natural gas producers. Okay, so anytime oil is up, these companies are going to do well. So you can hold this as long as oil is doing well, it's going to do well. But a pullback is imminent. Is it has to pull back at some point, right? That's what I can say, right? It has to pull back at some point. So you just have to just have to be ready there. But if you be holding for 1 year, that means that that's good. That's good gains, right? But if you are going to buy it here, I would say don't buy it here, right? Because this is too extended, and one of these days is just going to snap one red nasty candle, and you are going to see it sell off. So similar to what happened to silver, SLV, it went up parabolic, and then boom, it sold off, right? So, all right. So, any other questions, guys? Any other questions? I'm done here for the day. Any other questions? Any other questions? Any other questions? Uh, Markidos, are you part of our online community? So if you're not part of the online community, go here and join the online community here over here. So if you go to Trading Rich, you click on join the free community. Over here, you can join our free community here. Okay. All right. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys in the next live stream. And those in the community, if you're not part of the community, join the free community here on this website, on our website. And then we also have a WhatsApp group as well. Yeah. So once you join the community, you can find all those things there. Okay. All right. Okay, you're on the WhatsApp. Okay. Send me a DM when you get send me a DM. Okay. On WhatsApp. Okay. All right, guys. Have a good night. We'll see you guys. Those that day trade with us, we'll see you guys tomorrow live in the live day trading room. And then the swing traders, I'll let you guys know. I'll let the tickets for the week, and then we'll trade it together. Have a good night. Bye for now.